Today's lesson, types of preferred shares. Before we start this lesson, if you haven't watched the video about basics of preferred stock, I suggest you do so before we continue. If you already have, let's begin with your normal run-of-the-mill standard preferred share. Standard preferred shares are just that, standard. They have no specific features, and there is a possibility that you may not receive dividends as they are not guaranteed. Next, we'll look at cumulative preferred shares. The cumulative feature on this preferred stock requires that issuers that are paying dividends to shareholders must also pay any missed payments from the past. So, for example, if an investor had a 4% preferred stock for 2 years but did not receive payments for the last year, what would happen? Well, the corporation, when they decide to pay dividends, would also have to back pay for the missing last year. Standard preferred shares would not do this. Next would be callable. This is important as the logic also applies to callable bonds as well. The callable feature is actually not a feature for the investor, but the issuing corporation. They would have the ability to purchase back or call back any callable preferred shares. They would do this so that they can take any preferred shares with a high dividend rate, call them back, and reissue new shares with a lower rate so they can pay less. The question you might ask is, why would someone want such a preferred stock? Here's why. It's obvious that the callable feature is advantageous to the issuing corporation, so they incentivize the investor by issuing shares with a higher dividend rate than standard preferred shares. So here's the game you play. Let's say you purchase a callable preferred share, while your friend purchases a standard preferred share. Since yours is callable, you'll start off with a higher rate than your friend that has standard. If interest rates were to drop, your friend keeps their shares, while yours are highly likely to get called back. And chances are, if you buy new shares after they are called, you'll get a lower rate than your friend. However, if interest rates stay high, there is not much chance your shares get called back, and you remain making more dividends than your friend. Now let's talk about convertible preferred stock. Convertible allows for the investor to convert his preferred shares into common stock. The value of convertible preferred shares are often tied to common shares because of this. Since this feature is advantageous to the investor, it is issued with a lower dividend rate. After that would be adjustable. The dividend rate in an adjustable preferred stock is often tied to other interest rate benchmarks, like T-bills, and can be adjusted quarterly. The purpose of this type of stock is to maintain price stability. Lastly, participating preferred shares. Participating preferred shares allow for investors to receive more dividends in addition to their stated dividend. However, this is only possible if all interest is paid on bonds and all dividends paid to shareholders. Now remember, if you pay attention to what they are asking in your practice questions, it would be very easy to distinguish the differences between these types of preferred shares.